the whole country's attention is going to be here over the next few days. And the man at the center of all of that is the IEBC CEO, Ezra Chiloba. Thank you for making time to speak to us this evening.
Thank you, Larry.
In terms of preparations, where are you at?
Well,
you want to speak closer to the mic, yes?
we spent a lot of time this week just getting ready. Today we were trying to ensure that all the materials to the polling stations are actually distributed. And as I speak now, from 4 o'clock this evening, we had already started journeys to our different polling stations. And we have 40,000 polling stations that we are focusing on. We expect that by midnight, most of the polling stations will have received all the electoral materials in readiness for voting tomorrow morning. Yeah, so far, in terms of our preparedness and material distribution, I think we're on course.
That includes, like I said, the far-flung areas, hard-to-reach places in parts of the country?
Yes. If you look at areas of the northern Kenya, areas of Turkana, Wajir, and some extreme areas of the coast, we've had challenges there, but to put in place measures to ensure that materials are delivered on time, using helicopters to be able to deliver those materials on time. And that will continue also for areas like Turkana. We had sent out our lorries, but they got stuck on the way. So tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, we have choppers ferrying those materials to the respective polling stations.
And do you still expect that even those places will open at 6 a.m. for voting?
Yeah, for those areas like now in Turkana, the ones I've mentioned, about 7 polling stations that had challenges. The plane will have to leave at 6 o'clock, and we expect to have some delays. But we've already communicated. We don't expect any, once the materials are delivered, voting should commence and people should be able to get a chance to actually vote. And
those places that begin voting late, will their time be extended?
We look at that. It also depends on the number of people registered in that particular polling station. You might find that there are not as many. There could be 200 voters, and by midday you have a significant number of them already voting. So, but if there are many, we might extend that voting period for them.
Apart from those unique instances, everybody else gets to vote between 6 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Voting starts at 6 a.m. in the morning. It closes at 5 p.m. in the evening. And if you are on the queue by 4 o'clock somewhere, and by 5 p.m. will not have voted, we'll still allow you to vote. But just make sure that you're on the queue before 5 p.m. in the evening. Right.
There's instances of voters claiming they're not on the register. There's 300 people who are protesting in Kisumu today claiming they are not on the register.
We've gotten those reports. We're investigating the incidents, but we are confident that if you're an eligible voter and you're registered to vote, you must be on the register, and therefore you'll be given a chance to vote. So we are still looking into those claims, because for us to confirm, you must give us your particulars. We must be able to run those particulars in the system and be able to confirm that you're actually on the voters register. And the very reason actually we had verification period for a period of 1 month from May 9th to June 10th was to actually ensure that every eligible voter has confirmed that they're registered voters, so that such a cases do not arise. So it's a case that we're investigating, but we're confident that if they're actually registered voters, they're going to be on the register and they're going to vote.
This case aside, overall, if there is somebody who did in fact register to vote, but they show up at the polling station and they discover that their name is not on the register, what will happen?
First of all, we must appreciate how we're going to verify that you're actually a registered voter. We are using the KIMS kit, which gives us the opportunity to biometrically verify that you are a registered voter. So in the event that we are not able to identify you using biometrics, it may mean that we use an alternative mechanism to establish whether you're a registered voter or not. We'll take your ID number, key in the details in the kit, and if your details come out, then we can allow you to put your fingerprints again on the KIMS technology. Then you'll be able to be identified biometrically. We'll allow you to vote. But in the event that we are not able to identify you biometrically, and we've been able to establish the details that you're a registered voter, then we'll give you a Form 32A, where we'll ask the agents to witness that actually you showed up at the polling station. We are not able to identify you, but we are able to get your details using your ID, so we'll allow you to vote after the agents in the polling stations have confirmed that actually that happened. It's very unlikely that you'll be missing in the register through biometrics, then you're missing in the register through alphanumeric search. It's quite unlikely that you're a registered voter in that case.
Is there a likelihood that the KIMS kit might fail in some instances?
Well,
or run out of power, or whatever reason?
Yeah, what we expect is that there could be challenges. We're deploying over 40,000 kits across the country. We've tested those kits. We are confident that they're going to perform optimally. But in the event that we're going to have challenges, in the first instance, what we've done is that we have posted 2 ICT support officers in 2 constituencies who will be roaming around to ensure that the kits are actually up and running. And it's only in the unlikely circumstances where the kits fail that we may invoke alternative mechanisms of identifying. But we do not expect to have such a cases happening in this election.
There's some disquiet about the list of polling stations that do not have access to 3G or 4G connectivity. This 11,000 plus stations, some people are saying some of them are in obvious city centers where there should be connectivity. How was this arrived at?
No, the history of it is such that, unlike 2013 where we had Safaricom playing a critical role, this time around we had all service providers coming together and negotiating in terms of how we are going to spread out the network service provision. So you'll find that for every region we have 2 mobile service network providers. You have the primary. If it's Safaricom, then the secondary you're going to find that maybe it's Airtel. So in some cases where people are claiming that they're going to have 3G, you'll find that it is perhaps Safaricom. And whilst in our map, in terms of how they had shared the country, you'll find that it's Orange or telecoms nowadays. Right. They're called telecoms. Right. And Airtel. So you might find that there could be challenges in terms of network, but we've put in mechanisms to allow that all the results that are supposed to be transmitted electronically are going to be transmitted electronically. And the mechanism which we've highlighted in this case is that in the event that our presiding officer is not able to transmit the results electronically, then we're going to allow them to move to where there is network on the way to the tallying center. If along the way they find network, they'll be able to transmit those results. And one thing I can guarantee you, the moment you press a button on that kit indicating that you are now sending those results, what you've done is that you've locked those results and you cannot change. There's no chance to change those results. Yours is to ensure that they're actually sent in the ultimate.
By what time do you expect the final result of the presidential race?
First of all, you must appreciate that we have 7 days to count.
The law allows up to 7 days.
The law allows up to 7 days, but we want to see a bit more efficiency in terms of transmission. So we do not want to project at the moment, but the idea is that the earlier, the better for us. The earlier, the better for the country.
An internal deadline, perhaps you've set for yourself, a day, 2 days, 3?
No, we're trying to be cautious there. 4 days maybe on average, but we want it to be much faster than that.
All right, you want to just speak closer to your mic just a little more. I want to take just 2 or 3 questions before we go from the audience real quick because we've got to go. ER9 says, asking why is issuing statements contradicting the chairman?
We haven't issued any contradictory statements.
There has been a traditional kind of tiff between the commission and the secretariat, and this has sometimes spilled into the open. Is the entire commission reading from the same page?
I mean, Larry, you see, the reality is created that is not. Our reality is that we are working as a team, both the commissioners as a structure that provides oversight on what we do as the secretariat, and we're working as a team. Okay. They've got their role cut out. There's a role of the secretariat that is cut out, and we're working all together to ensure that this election is delivered in a free and fair manner.
There are lots of claims on social media that you've been meeting with some political actors who are running in this race.
Actually, I don't read much of that, but people call me to ask me whether it's true, and I always wonder whether that is the Chiloba that I know, who is myself.
So you haven't met any politicians from either side?
Larry, that is not even important, and I don't want to be distracted by that fact.
Right.
The important thing is that as a country, you've given a section of the citizenry to perform certain functions.
Okay.
And I'm one of them, and that's my duty, to ensure that this country is able to deliver or enjoy the freedom of participating in a political process that's
Okay.
free for everyone. So that is my duty. But the issue about whom have you met, whom you haven't met, I meet a lot of people in this town. But we must ensure that we stick to what the law requires us to do.
Okay, I need to let you go one last time. Collins Bahawi, ask him whether spoiled but replaced ballot papers will make percentage of votes cast. If there's somebody spoils a ballot paper and asks for a new one, will that make part of the percentage of the votes cast?
Not at all. We're not counting that
counted.
right. The spoiled ballot papers are not part of the total votes cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got the whole country watching right now. Your word for them as they go to vote tomorrow, 6 a.m.
Yes. My take is, let us turn out as Kenyans and exercise our sovereignty by electing the leaders that we prefer. As a commission, we've put together mechanisms that allows you to go exercise that right. So tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., please get your ID or your passport or the document you use to register as a voter, show up at the polling station. There'll be officers of IEBC waiting for you to vote. And at the end of the day, allow the commission to count those results. Let us declare those results and celebrate as a country in terms of what we'll have achieved in the process of democratization. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much.
And all the very, very best. You've got a huge logistical challenge coming up for you in the next few days.
Yes, and we're making it.
You're making it.
Yes.
Good luck. Ezra Chiloba, the CEO of the IEBC, with us here on NTV's Decision 2017. I'm taking a really quick break right now. Plenty more coming up. We've got colleagues all over the country, 300 in total. My colleagues at NTV Mombasa, NTV Kisumu, NTV Eldoret, and all around the country, 300 overall. We're going to be all back up after this short break on Decision 2017. From all of us at Bomas of Kenya, it's goodbye. But don't go too far. We're going to be right back.